If a small business wanted to make itself more insurable from a cyber perspective, what three actions would you recommend they take immediately?
So doing that external scan and understanding your, kind of that, what does your external perimeter look like? And then working with your team to mitigate and harden that exterior would be number one. Doing that risk assessment would be very powerful because what you will see in doing that risk assessment is a lot of the policies and procedures that these companies have and compared to other peers. So if you do that risk assessment, you're going to see whether or not folks are using MFA. You're going to see whether or not your employees are encrypting files locally. You're going to see whether or not they're pulling information out of your cloud environment and keeping it on their desktop. So they've got patient records, sales logs, all kinds of information. We could actually help, right, companies do that risk assessment and then see that PII, right, that personally identifiable information that resides locally and is in violation of the policies and procedures, but more importantly, the attestations you made to that insurance carrier. So those are some things that I think that risk assessment and that external scan can accomplish is a better insight into whether or not your employees are adhering to internal controls and procedures. I mean, all these things can be seen through that risk assessment. And it's more about how are you enforcing your policies and procedures. So it's that corporate governance step that if you share with the underwriter, you're going to get some credits as well from that. And then certainly when you're using, kind of like a phishing resistant MFA, so we talked about that FIDO2, there's a lot of carriers are offering, 10 to 30% discounts in premium when you're using a tool like that. So when you start thinking about whether or not you can work with your broker to get a decrease in your insurance premium that offsets a superior security tool and the cost of that, it might be really worthwhile for you. So those are some things that I would, kind of throw out there in terms of suggestions that you could actually help pay, right, for these security tools, have a more secure environment, but have some of the savings from your insurance offset those costs.